Hello, my name is Brian Galvin. I'm the Chief Academic Officer here at Varsity Tutors. And if you're watching this video, your employer has made a great decision by enrolling you in the Bright Horizons program. Now, we all know that there are great benefits throughout your suite of benefits at Bright Horizons. But in this 2020-2021 school year, with all of its challenges, I want to introduce you to a lot of the benefits available through Varsity Tutors to help your learners thrive in this uncertain year. Now, first, by way of introduction, who is Varsity Tutors? We're the largest live learning platform in the United States, with over 40,000 tutors on our platform, teaching in over 3,000 subjects. Perhaps most importantly, we've been doing online education and doing it well for over 10 years. So although the world got online education thrust on us in the last few months, in some ways good and in many ways not, we've been at this a long time, and we think we have a lot of value to add, especially as we look through some of the things that we'll talk about in a second that students have been missing throughout this distance learning period. So I first want to introduce you to your benefits. Know that through Bright Horizons, you have access to one-on-one consultations with educational consultants to help you determine what kind of learning solutions are best for you and your family. There are quite a few free offerings available. We'll get to in a second. Large live online classes taught by celebrities, adaptive learning plans and diagnostics to help you best figure out where your student needs some extra help or to improve, or may need a little bit more of a challenge. And then 20% off any of our paid services. And that includes small group classes. We'll talk about the benefit of those. It includes one-on-one tutoring. It includes instant tutoring and all kinds of options to help your learner thrive in the school year. So I want to talk a little bit about what's been missing as students have gone online. We've heard a lot about the challenges that parents are facing, even just finding activities for kids to do during the learn from home era. We've also found that what kids are really missing are some of the things that make school the most exciting, the exciting parts of school that make it easy to wake up in the morning looking forward to school. They're missing things like personal attention from teachers. If you think back to when you were a student, all the little things a teacher could do in just a look convey things like, I'm proud of you, great job, but I might not say that in front of your classmates because I don't want you to feel like the teacher's pet, or don't even think about it. I know you're about to act up and you better not think about that. And all kinds of little micro interactions throughout the day. When I taught high school history and economics, I had all kinds of little tricks. The number of boxes that I didn't need help carrying to the office was immense, because that was just an opportunity to ask a kid who needed a little bit of attention for a favor, let them feel valued and get a little bit of one-on-one talk time to find out, let them know they were valued, find out what questions they had and those kinds of things. All those little micro interactions aren't happening now that so many classes are happening online. And as soon as class is done, everyone clicks the button and they're out. Students are also missing extracurriculars and elective classes. Think of, in elementary school, how excited you would be when the representative from the zoo was coming and you got to pet a ferret or hold a snake. How often you woke up in the morning not excited because of a math test or some kind of a biology lecture, but because there was soccer practice after school or a band concert or something to look forward to. We moved all the online classes online, all the core curriculum classes online, but we haven't quite replicated extracurriculars, field trips, and all those things that serve as the spoonfuls of sugar to help the medicine of core curriculum classes that you're not that excited about go down. Now, how can Varsity Tutors help? Because that's what we're really here to do. One, I mentioned the free large format classes. We have all kinds of exciting classes being taught by astronauts, Olympic gold medalists, TV stars, Oscar winners, and all kinds of really inspirational people. They're designed to nurture that love of learning that kids innately have. Every kid is curious if we meet them where they are. And that's what makes field trips and extracurriculars such an integral part of a school experience. So we have those available. We have all kinds of small group classes on everything from core curricular classes to the things that are kind of exciting, everything from Minecraft to marine biology. Life skills classes, things on personal finance. How many of us have gotten to adulthood and said, I wish they would have taught that in school? Things like cooking, public speaking, even college admissions. There are all kinds of free large group classes available to just nurture that love of learning. And if we're being honest, you've got this benefit through your employer to help fill some time between when school's out at 2:30 or 3 and when work is done between 5:30 and 6. These are things that will keep kids' minds occupied, nurture their curiosity, help them learn something on a variety of topics, from the core curriculum they really need to the enrichment and excitement things that just make learning fun. We also have small group classes. Now, these are the classes that you'll get your 20% off of, paid classes. And what's great about these is they're capped at 20 and generally have a class size of 12 to 15. These can be on a total variety of subjects. Like we mentioned, academic subjects. A lot of parents are asking this year, will what happens via hybrid learning or via distance learning, will it even be enough? Will my student get enough repetition and exposure to core math and reading skills? Well, we have academic classes meeting all the time to give that extra repetition, extra attention to those important skills. There's also that thought of, I don't think my child is engaged in distance learning. There's just too much lecture or busy work and worksheets and just sort of passive learning. We've spent 10 years perfecting the art of online learning for things like hands-on projects and, kind of rolling up your sleeves, getting your hands dirty. Things like interactive classes. When a teacher has to move a 55-minute class with 30-some students in it online, they just miss out on small group learning, on those kind of interactions. Here with small groups and a format, dedicated and designed for online learning, we get a lot of participation. The academic research is really clear on two things. One, the more students participate, the more they learn, and it's always that way. The more you participate, the more you learn. But two, most students self-censor their participation. They're a little bit nervous about being on stage in front of their classmates, particularly when it's a peer group that, they've known their whole lives. And in that group, they'll be asking someone to the homecoming dance or trying to get someone to come to their birthday party. It's intimidating to be that person who puts up their hand and asks the bold question or gives the bold answer. With small group online learning, a lot of participation is anonymous. Students can participate in anonymous polls. They can send private chats to their instructor. They can all chat at once via type. And then that way, it's just that safety in numbers of participation. And then once a culture of participation has been met, pretty much every student feels a lot more comfortable participating verbally as well. So for students who just need some extra socialization, who haven't had that, small group learning is great. For kids who need a little bit more enrichment and just the need to nurture that love of learning that's not quite happening day to day in school, small groups are great for that. Or like I said, the repetition with core skills is important as well. Now, Varsity Tutors, the term tutoring is in our name and it's in our DNA. So many parents are concerned about missing personal attention this school year. We saw it in the spring, with teachers sort of overwhelmed, trying to balance new technologies and bringing lesson plans over, and then just sort of dealing with the new environment. Kids aren't quite getting that same attention like we talked about. Tutoring is perfect for that. Even in just a few hours per week, students can get not just expert attention on the subjects that they need help on, they can get someone giving them a challenge on the subjects where they may be getting a little bit bored in school. And for us as parents, it's great because someone else tells the student to do their homework. And I think that's, we all learned this spring that trying to be parent and best friend, because there wasn't as much socialization going on, and teacher all at once was overwhelming for parents. Tutoring is sort of a nice way to put someone else in charge of that accountability that comes with homework. We also have instant tutoring available. And with instant tutoring, if a student is working on something and hits a wall, they've got a test tomorrow and something doesn't quite click, they have a paper due and they need someone to make sure that it makes sense and is expertly written, and you either don't have the time or the expertise, or maybe just the interest in serving that role, with instant tutoring, with a click of a button in over 40 subjects, an expert tutor will be right online with you within a few minutes to provide that last minute homework help. So all kinds of solutions available for live learning through Varsity Tutors. Should also mention, for free with your Bright Horizons membership is a Learning Lab membership. And what I love about our Learning Lab is it's adaptive diagnostics. So within 20 minutes or so, you get a pretty good feel for where your student is struggling a little bit and needs to do some more work. And then we'll provide a little bit of that work for you, or where they're advanced and can afford to move a little bit faster. It will create a custom learning plan for your student. And then what's really neat in there is that kids are always challenged, but never overwhelmed. So if they're doing additional work in the Learning Lab, then when they're doing well, the system recognizes it, moves them on to a challenge. We know the number one cause of misbehavior in school is just boredom. Kids aren't challenged, and so they act up because they're not sure what to do with their time. And so a system like this challenges those who need it. But say you're struggling on a subject, and ordinarily you'd be given a 30-question worksheet. And after about question 4 or 5, if you're really struggling, that's frustrating too, and you just keep making the same mistake over and over again. Well, what's neat with the Learning Lab is once we've recognized that this subject is a struggle, we can pop up interactive dialogue boxes to ask students to self-reflect. Say, hey, what would you do differently? Now that you've read that solution on this problem you got wrong, what do you want to try to do differently the next time? Or write in your own words, what's clicking about this subject, and what steps are the hardest for you? The great thing there is when students are forced to self-reflect, they tend to do better the next time because they've been thinking about it. They've really had to rethink their approach. But also, you get a weekly progress report, and a student's tutor, if they're working with a tutor, gets that weekly progress report that includes those self-reflections. So we don't just get a report that a student is struggling in these 3 or 4 skills. We also have a roadmap to where, in their own words, are they struggling? What would they like to do differently? And then as parents or teachers and tutors, we can address those things because we captured all those things in the moment. So highly invite you to check out the Learning Lab. So those are a few of my favorite things that are included with your Bright Horizons benefits, and hopefully you'll check them out for yourself and find that they become your favorites. We're here to help with the fact that students need more personal attention, and you don't always have the time and ability to do that for them. They need more excitement around the school day, more things to be, nurture that innate curiosity and love of learning that we all have. And just, they need a little bit of extra socialization while you need them to fill some hours in the day before work's done, but while it's still after school. We have solutions for all of those things. We invite you to check out at that URL on the screen here, all of your Bright Horizons benefits, and we hope to see you and your students in a class soon.